that Walmart should eat the cost of the tariffs, is that an acknowledgement that it is U.S. companies that bear the brunt of tariffs, not foreign countries?
Sometimes the country will eat it, sometimes Walmart will eat it, and sometimes there'll be something to pay, something extra. I've always been a fan, and I've always believed, and if you look, take a look at what I did 4 years ago. We had the greatest economy, and we had no inflation. Remember that. We had no inflation, and yet we had hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs that I put on China, yet we had no inflation. We had no big cost differential. Oftentimes, and I don't like it when a department store, because they'll do a lot of business, but they announce record profits and everything else. They have to take out some of their profits. They'll make a little bit less money. But I don't want the consumer to pay.
But why impose tariffs that you know are hurting American businesses?
They're not hurting. They're helping because they're creating jobs in America. We're creating tremendous amounts of jobs in America like you've never seen. We're having investment in America. We're not getting ripped off by every country in the world. We've been ripped off by every country in the world. They're making their product. They sell it. They don't give our people the jobs. They make it with other countries' jobs. And we will have something that nobody will ever see again, I think. I think we have a potential to do numbers that we never envisioned in the wildest year. Look at what's happening. 10 to 12 trillion dollars in literally a couple of months. It's nothing like that's ever happened.
I'm not an economist. I actually dropped out of college, but I do know the basics, and I know enough to know Donald Trump has no idea what he's talking about. Saying that on the tariff, sometimes the countries will eat it, sometimes the companies will eat it, sometimes the consumers will eat it, shows he knows nothing about economics. What determines who shares the burden of the tariff is determined by what economists call elasticity of demand. Basically, the more we need or want the good, the more the tariff burden will fall on us. And we might as well call it a tax because it's a tax on imports. He said 4 years ago we had the greatest economy. I guess he's talking about 2020, his last year as president. I know the MAGA people believe we had the greatest economy back then, but for those of us who are in reality, we know it sucked. It was a horrible economy. Now, it's true we had no inflation during that time, but it's not because he was doing a good job. It was because we had the COVID lockdowns. People couldn't go to work and earn the money they needed to go buy goods. So basically, demand for goods were, basically dropped. That's why we had no inflation. It amazes me that Donald Trump doesn't understand that Walmart is not going to just eat the cost of the tariffs out of the good of their own heart. They are going to try to maximize their profits, just like any business does. Now, I'm not saying that makes them a bad people, but it's just the fact. They are going to do what's best for their bottom line. The tariffs are going to be terrible for small businesses because they can't afford to pay for them like Walmart can. If these tariffs are really going to bring back jobs the way he claims, then why does he keep pausing them like he does? And the answer is because they're not going to bring back jobs. He's not taking into account the fact that it costs a hell of a lot of money to open up new factories in this country. It's like I don't know. He's just oblivious to it. And we are not getting ripped off by other countries. We are buying products from them. If you really believe you're getting ripped off by them, then don't buy any imports. Then at the end, he says 10 to 12 trillion dollars in a couple of months. Where is he coming up with these numbers from? Is he trying to say that's the amount of money that the government's collected in revenue? Because that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's just making up numbers off the top of his head. He might as well say $100 trillion or quadrillion dollars.